what's going on, everyone? Adam the Movie Hunter, back again. Hunt, haul, and something new. I am going to review a movie here at the end that I just picked up that is getting some serious hate. People are just throwing it around and denting their steelbooks and all sorts of things. So stay tuned for that. Here we go. All right, we are inside. It's VHS day, it looks like. Somebody just turned in a bunch of new tapes. So I figured, you know what? Let's go old school today. Just a quick run through of the new stuff they got. I'll show you their wall that I normally have to work with. I'm always checking because this place gets constant turnover. Constant new movies are coming in. As you can see here, there's some classics. There's some great tapes. I would have went nuts. I would have probably brought home 5 to 10, but I told myself I don't need everything. Now, that's not to say that they won't come home with me later, but that's a different story. That's for another video. Leprechaun in the Hood, that was a nice one to see. That one runs, I want to say, about $10 to $15 here. The rest of these probably in that same price range, low end of 3, upwards of 15. Most, like this Jess Franco tape that you'll see, are extremely clean. Some have plastic cases or covers. Sometimes you get a collector that comes and brings all of his horror in the best condition you can imagine. Those tapes can tend to run on the $20, $25, $30 side, especially if they're rare. Most of this stuff, being on the more low end, up high, clamshells, big boxes. But you name, there's still some hard to finds. There's actually some pretty damn good movies here. So I love me my VHS. Hope you guys still love them too. So let's see what I got. And I'm back. Okay, so as you saw, just a quick trip to my favorite store. I focused on the VHS today. They got a whole bunch of new VHS, some cool tapes. Was not there for them, but they piqued my interest. So I kind of focused in on that. You guys have seen a lot of that place already. This is a section I don't focus on as much. There's actually some, from big box to clamshell horror to just regular, VHS titles of all different labels, is upwards of probably $150 tapes, like Things. You didn't see that there, but it's there. So with that said, I'm going to show you what I got today not today. Well, I got this the other day at the store, and a couple other titles I picked up at the pawn shop while I was out, just randomly. I forget, maybe Tuesday? I don't remember. But all new. And then we're going to talk about, real quick, as quick as I can without getting too crazy on my rant, the movie. So, here we go. This was the VHS that I decided to grab. One of my favorites, King Kong Lives. So I now have the VHS, the DVD, and now the Umbrella release that just came out. The trifecta I love completing. It's one of my things to do with certain movies that I love. I don't do it with every movie, but King Kong Lives, the cheesiest of them all, definitely. Crossroads. Little Britney Spears for you. This one's not as easy to find. It's definitely a thrift store finder, because you don't want to pay full price online if you do. I think it goes a little bit too much on eBay for what it should be. I want to say it's like an $8 movie on eBay, but it should only be like $1, which it is. And then, or 50 cents. Christmas Carol, Jim Carrey. I like this story. I don't remember watching this completely, so I figured I'd pick it up while I was there. This is one of the pawn shops, same with Britney. Valkyrie, Tom Cruise, been picking up basically every one of his titles. I don't know why. It's just something I'm doing. General's Daughter. Love this movie. I read this book, actually, in high school. My home ec teacher, who was my favorite teacher ever, Miss Demars, if you're watching. I'm just kidding. But I read this book, and I think she's the one that recommended. She was actually the one that got me into reading. Crazy enough, I hated reading, and I started reading because of my home ec teacher. So, great movie. So it's because I watched the movie, read the book is why I watched the movie, and the movie's awesome too. The Host, I picked this up because of Gabe, if you're watching. You told me about this one that I should give it a whirl, give it a watch. You said it's pretty good. I trust in you. So, getting that. Darkness, Kevin Costner is... No, not Kevin Costner. Kevin Bacon. Kevin Costner. The Baconator. You can't go wrong with the bacon. So, going with the Darkness. This I never do, but I really wanted to watch this movie. I didn't want to pay for a full price. I found a library copy there. I hate library copies, but I still do it. The reason I hate them is usually because of this. You know, it's just got that ugly white sticker. I could peel it, I'm sure, and get it all off, but that's just main reason I don't like library copies. But Candyman, now have it. That was the last Candyman I didn't have in my collection, so it's like I finally just figured to pick it up. The Prestige, cool movie. It's like a magic, darker magic movie. Know nothing about this one, but looked completely interesting. Aliens, Clowns, and Geeks. Hoping this is an awesome movie. Probably wonder who I'm winking at, so I'll tell that person later. This one is the one that we're going to talk about. Kill Her Goats. The schlock is cheesy fantasticness is Killer Goats. People are throwing this movie. Everybody's got the steelbook. This I just happened to be at store. I was like, you know what? I gotta watch this for myself. I love cheese. I love bad movies. It sounded like it was up my alley because everybody was like, oh, it sucks and it's just so bad. And, this unrated cut, I can only imagine what the rated cut is. Then I'm sure I would have never watched it. The unrated was already hard enough. So everybody's already heard about Killer Goats, but if you haven't, basically a group of girls, playmates of the year, a bunch of Playboy models, take showers at a house. A Kane Hodder who wears a goat head mask comes to kill him, and the end. There's more to it, but it's basically shower scenes, ass scenes. The breasts are there, the boobies are there. Everyone talks about this shower scene. I know I'm going to be all over the place with this movie, but that's just how this movie is. It's just all in my brain right now, all over the place. The shower scene that everybody talks about, where there's a female taking a shower, covering herself, and you don't shower like this and everything. They did a lot of camera angles, cutaway shots, and just pan down and stop, pan up and stop. And when they did have her on screen, she had to cover their nipples, and everything else is exposed but that. So I was still happy with it because in the first scene, I want to say like the third scene, the credit roll, tons of other spots where you get to see what you want to see, naked ladies. So I didn't mind that particular shower scene. The Monica Sims, though, who was that? I think that's Misty in the movie. Or was it? No, Reese. She was the best. Like when her scene came up, putting the fire on, singing her, it's getting hot in here. Like that. That was where I was like, okay, I just kind of picked back up. It started going down and then it picked back up. Misty, who slept too much in the bed, she was the one that just slept all night for some reason, go to bed at 8 o'clock. Don't get it. She her scenes were a great example of lighting effects. This movie's all practical effects. So I just did a practical effects stream with Tim Talk Talkies. We had a great panel. Bob and Cody, um, Steven, I want to say, and James. There was multiple people, but the bottom line, the uh, the lighting, how they used it to cover stuff, because she has a shot, Misty or whatever. I think it's Ellie Gonzalez or something. Gonzalez. She walks towards the camera naked, but you can't see anything because of the lighting. And then when she turns back to walk around, it's cold in the room. It's cold. I want to say some of these actresses that were in this movie, the reason they also covered up is because they're actual actresses. Um, Ariel Regine, who played Audra, the main character, she is, well, beautiful, and she's the one in the main shower scene that covered up. I want to say that she just didn't want to go there. She just didn't want to do that particular scene. She's not a playboy or a playmate per se. So Monica and Ellie and them, I'm pretty sure they were the rest. Even that, I can't think of her name in the movie, but she gets beat down by Otter on the beach. And spoiler alert, so if you haven't watched Killer Goats, you're already gonna be spoiled, but keep watching. Otter just beats this girl down. She's a playmate. There's like 5 or 6 of them in the movie. But overall, I had so many questions. Like, why? Like, first of all, there are girls, the shower scenes that do cover up. Girls normally, I thought, when they shower in front of each other, aren't afraid or shy. It's like a locker room. Like, so why cover up? Didn't get that stuff. The complete, like, clothes, the wardrobe changes. I think Audra in one scene changed her clothes twice within 5 minutes for no reason, just wardrobe changes. I get it. We've seen them in their underwear. We didn't need to see them just keep seeing them in their underwear. I'm wondering if they were going for a different type of distribution with this, and they didn't know what they wanted. They wanted to be like full on softcore or hardcore, like, because if they went there, this movie would have been basically NC-17, virtually a porn without the actual sex. Because it would have been like, it's like, what is it? A 75-minute movie. It would have been like 65 minutes of just nakedness. All the shower scenes and just walking around in underwear and barely clothed women. Yeah, it's definitely a for, again, what you want in a schlocky, campy, cheesy horror. I just read Movies with James posting about what he loved. I loved it. The 3 things right there. You want your blood and gore. This had it. You want boobies. This had it. And I can't remember the third one, but I'm sure it had it. It had kills and everything else. It was just hilarious what he put. But anyways, it had all the stuff, elements that you needed in a horror. Was it the best? No. Was it the worst? No. I've seen worse. I know I have. I don't want to bash a label, but I've seen worse. So just leave it at that. The was it Stephen Walsh, or who's the director guy here? Yeah, Steve Walsh. He had a vision. I guess he went for it. And I'm sure there was reasons. I wish there was more special features on this to tie in, more interviews to tie into why these things were happening. But the credit roll felt like the movie the Feast, where it was like showing like the yellow of who the character was and stuff like that. Even parts of this movie had elements of the Feast where it was showing those like comical, like, still shots of who they were. But the credit roll was awesome. I love the goofs and the mess up scenes. Those were probably just as good as the whole movie. Probably better. They probably could have left that in and made it more better, the movie. So overall, just don't hate on this movie if you like cheese. Don't let everyone else's opinion say just because it's crappy or bad. I didn't let, like, what 99% of everybody was saying out there, saying it's bad, don't watch it, it's crap, everyone hates it. I get it, Tony. I get why you don't like it. Get Bob why you don't like it. Perfect example of how different opinions, different tastes, you know, don't let someone else judge a book by its cover for you. I didn't, and I'm so glad I did not. I mean, I'm gonna give this, if I had to give it 5, goats, I'm gonna give it like 3, solid 3, almost 3.5 goat heads. It is badass. So with that, we're gonna end it on the killer goats tonight. Sorry I spoiled it for some of you guys. There is other stuff in the movie to watch. And if you're like, a little teen watching and you like your ladies, you can find better stuff out there, but this doesn't hurt. Does not. I still would recommend it. So with that said, that's what I've been watching. And the craziest things, I'm going to go from killer goats to Big Mama's house. Great, like, palate cleanser. Like, that's what I'm using that for, so I could go into another one. So till next time, boys and girls, as usual, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you liked here today. Tell me your thoughts on Killer Goats. If you like this movie, if you hate this movie still, if you plan to watch it, if you never plan to watch it, goat up. Goat up, motherfuckers. Later.